Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is the Rise of a Nation, it is episode 18, and in today's episode, it is the last game of the stream, of the season end of the stream. We're currently live, links down below, follow us on Twitch, and we do have the end of season review. I'm just going to put them as one. It's been basically a 5-hour stream, and it's quite hard to stream when you can't get up for it because your team has faltered, and look, we only have ourselves to blame that we haven't mounted a bit more of a challenge because we really could have. You know, we saw, obviously, the viable game. We beat Vigil last episode. Should have won these 2 points. That's another 6 points there. So, what? 6 plus 6 points onto our total right now. We're on 50 points. We still can't be up right now, and we can't be close, but it's a little bit better. We then played Silkenborg. Oh, absolutely pumped. We played Esberg, winning 1-0, threw it away. So, technically, if we want to go, there's 9 points now that we can add to our total. Skiv, we played again, drew 0-0 in a game that was very, very interesting in terms of, to say the least, that we didn't get a goal in. Another one of these performances, another 3 points there, 12 points all of a sudden. Viborg 0-0 at home. This gun here was a bit more evenly contested, so we'll just leave that as a draw. And then we played Vigil, and we were 2-0 up and threw it away. They were the better side, to be fair. But 2-0 up, we could say that maybe we could give ourselves 15 points. You know, if I'm clutching at straws, 15 points, 12 points. 12 points gives us 56 and something to play for on the final day. 15 points puts us in a position to have been promoted this year. So, especially with a lot of draws through the middle part, you know, 3 draws, undefeated in the last 3 games. Should have won definitely 2 of the 3. I think the Skiv game and the Vigil game, after being 2-0 up, we should win, and we didn't. There we go. The one thing I'm going to say about this is that we just lacked the quality. It's as simple as that. Like, in the games, after 60 minutes plus, oppositions are bringing on players that are better than ours and able to do the business. We go to the bench, and I look at the bench and go, there's not much here because we're semi-professional. At least with the guys that start, the shoe plays well above how good he is. Liddell chips in when he wants. The middle of the park's really good, and yeah. I do have some leading, right, is Jens Skoo, man. Since he's come in, the youth intake guy that I was like, oh, he's good, but he's not bad. He's very underrated. You know, he does a lot of this well. He works his socks off, which is something I can get behind. I don't get centre mid ratings this year. Like, a 6.5 is not what this guy's been on. Like, some of the balls he plays and some of the things he does and wins the ball back at the start of a highlight. I think centre mid ratings is something the game really needs to look at. Let me know if you think I'm getting it wrong. Like, there's been games I've had 60% of the ball, and my midfielder's on a 6.5 and a 6.4. You go have a look at their passes. They've missed 2 passes all game. And I'm like, so what are they doing so wrong? I personally think they've put so much weighting on tackles won that if a midfielder makes 90 out of 92 passes in a game and plays, 30 key passes, but has only won 1 out of 2 tackles, it's on a 6.5 because he didn't win 2 out of 2 tackles. I think that's the problem. I'm not sure, but it just seems that's the way with centre mids and their ratings. Fullbacks, they can go and complete a cross and get a header, and they'll get an assist. But if they've missed 2 tackles, they're automatically on the 6.8. You know, I reckon last year's match ratings, apart from the goalkeeper ones, was what it needed to be, and just needed to change the goalkeeper ratings. They've just gone the other way around now. Keeper ratings, if they're having a good game with good saves, yeah. And yet again, if a keeper keeps a clean sheet and hasn't touched the ball, he gets a 6.3. And it's just like, well, what is he meant to do? Anyway, in terms of the team, Lingard as well has been pretty decent since he's been in, 6.7 at right back. Teo isn't going to start. I'm going to start him here. He's not 100% fit. This is Con's last game. Unfortunately, I think Malberg isn't exactly able to play this one, is he? Oh, no, he is. We rested him last game. Yes, he can. So the dynamic duo will play together one more time. We do need a centre-back. I'll look for one. Eventually, it will come. We was happy about playing centre mid, so I'm happy to play on my left back. Anderson's come in because we do have a suspension of Danny Vilmosa. And yet again, this is further backed up. There's no way this guy's had a 6.49. The amount of key passes he plays is freaking ridiculous, yet match ratings dictate he's not good. I just don't understand it. Anyhow, it is what it is. A little bit makeshift up top because we do have Diamondov who's had a bit of a knock, but he will sit on the bench anyway. Last game of the season, we're just going to get into it. This is also the last time that we do get to see the big boy up top, unless he's been dropped or is injured. And there he is. Last time we get to see Olsen in the league, because Olsen is on his way to Leipzig, and you guys will know I've harped on him a lot. This guy, I'm happy to see the end of, but I'm also happy to see him go. He's leaving on a free. Imagine if you're Esberg, you sign this guy and he leaves on a free. I think the first thing I would have done as soon as there was interest, I would have offered him out big time for at least money. And he is unbelievable. I really hope to see him around in the leagues, and hopefully he's done well. And who knows, maybe at like 30 years of age, we can maybe get him back to Denmark and play for us. But yeah, we saw him as a 16-year-old, and he didn't want to come, and don't blame him when you look like that. We haven't found a regen like that since. It seems to be like one in those 100,000 regens that come in the second division. Off to Leipzig. If Leipzig put him on the loan list and he's happy to come to League 2, sure, come in, but I highly doubt it. Anyway, we are going to go into the kickoff here. I'm going to ask the assistant, and we're just going to go and do what we want to do. I'm going to get the press out there because why not? And yeah, score prediction in the chat. I think we lose, but it is what it is. And yeah, I'll be interested to see how we go. Nadal's in. Sorry, I was texting the girlfriend. Anyway, ball comes in, headed at goal, looked offside, but I only looked up briefly. And Dulwich is there 1-0. We have been streaming for 5 hours, so YouTube, like I've been saying to the chat for the last, and especially the last hour because it's been dragging, did an 11-hour day at work as well. I'm pretty wrecked. So we're just going to try and get through this episode. It has to be done as well. Anyway, Mortensen there, puts a ball in. He wasn't offside. I saw it really late, and we're 1-0 down. I am going to just go full press. So something I actually started doing towards the end of this is that I used to full press in this system anyway, when we used to play it last year on Fm20. And maybe something I might do next season if I can find a team with a little bit more work rate. I've always said that, but maybe we can just do that. Anyway, Ashka's not scored a goal in God knows how long. And he did miss a few big chances, obviously, a couple of episodes ago, which would have seen us win a game. And, like, I'm going to go back to those first 2 games in this division. He's scored. Oh, he's offside. I wish he did score against us, Olsen, at Lundberg, because he's got to be unbelievable. And when we are Danish manager, oh boy, is he going to play for Denmark. But, yeah, you know, I'll go back to those first 2 games. If we got those 6 points and got some form going, you just never know what this side could have done. And that's the sad part, really. Anyway, Steven Gerrard, last game for him here at the club. I don't think I'm going to loan him back. He just really hasn't done enough. Anderson, what a ball. Liddell, he looked offside. Cuts at the shoe blot. Does fall, though, to Ash Holgerberg. He finally scores. He's going to get very limited game time next year. He's going to play a lot in the 19s. One thing I will say about next year as well is that I will look to try and build the best 19s in the second division. I have signed that many players. Some of them will be first team options. Some of them will sit in the 19s. And I'll just keep looking at who's in form in the 19s, who's growing well in the 19s, and bring them up. Because everybody's going to have that 4-5 star potential. And we're not going to be predicted to... Well, that's a poor clearance. We should really punish on that. That's a poor ball in, and we didn't punish, and that just sums up Steven Gerrard. He gets in the good areas and then doesn't do the job. Anyway, Scoo there. Good ball to Will. He is really good, by the way, this guy. He gets on the ball. He works his socks off. I actually think, even though we might be getting a midfielder or two that maybe on paper is better, he starts because he's been really good, the 17-year-old. The shoe doesn't win it. Anderson, he will definitely play next year, Mr. Anderson. It's just going to be hard to fit all these midfielders in. That's a ball and a half, and Ash really could have finished and didn't. But yeah, we've got so many 16-year-olds coming on, 15-year-olds as well, that are Danish that can move, and a couple of 17-year-olds. There's so much talent that I'm going to put them in the 19s, going to put them in the reserves if they're good enough. And if they're in form, we're going to bring them up and not play them like straight away, but definitely use them around off the bench. If they're scoring goals, get them in and around. If they're defending well, or we got a keeper, because I do need a keeper, because Christoph won't be here because he's made too many mistakes. What a ball from Anderson, and we put it wide. Then we'll do that. But we'll wait and we'll see. And we'll see what we can build. And yeah, we've been the better team here too. Since we've gone to this press, we've been really good. So something for next year, I reckon, as well, is go a bit more heavy pressing. If we get enough work-ready players, which I think we can. Anyway, Moldberg goes long and looking for the shoe and doesn't find him. Larson now with a ball. He goes all the way back to his goalkeeper. And that's something we do need, is a goalkeeper that's a bit better. Anyway, Anderson, what a ball to the shoe. Good touch in the Liddell, who has played well as a winger, but I think his days are numbered here, Liddell. I say all this as he nearly scored. It was a great save by Yeppy in goals. But yeah, we do have some issues to fill next season. Centre back being one, with Con leaving. Right back, I feel like where we really need players, like centre back and right back, I might go a bit more experienced. There is a centre back or two that I have brought in that maybe could do a job as a youngster. And there's also a part of me that maybe might throw, a couple of the lads here or something else. Will be interesting. Yes, Berg, I am managing the national team when I get promoted to Division 1. I'm actually glad we didn't do it this year, because then I would have to bring him to the 2022 World Cup. And I feel that would be very unrealistic. But anyway, highlight here, after half-time. This game has been quite level. We probably have deserved to be in the lead, and we're not. And KO now with a good ball in to Biergaard, or Bayegard. Might be Becky Guard, I don't know. Header straight at the keeper. This is Christoph Pedersen's last game for the club as well. But it'll be interesting to see how we go. And hopefully we do alright. Anyway, good ball out. Finds Will. Will's ball looking for Ashk. Ashk is in. Will he finish? No, he won't. Standard usual from him anyway. It'll be interesting to see how we go next season, indeed. And how Ashk maybe goes in the 19s. Give him a full year there. Jewel, by the way, won under 19s Golden Boot. Scored 16 goals in 14 games. Just hasn't really grown. The games he has played in the league, he's not been good enough. We deserve a 3.0. That kind of just sums us off. We can create the chance. We just don't bury the chances. Being a little bit FM'd. That's happened a few times, more than a few times this year, but that also might be the quality. We do have some quality coming in as well. And yet again, Skoo in the right place. I can't pronounce his name. It's S-K-O-U. I'd pronounce that as Skoo. Anyway, good ball into the shoe. Will he bury? No, he won't. Another save from their keeper, who I've been told by a Esberg fan of Matthias that he is not great, and his nickname's Butterfingers Yeppy. But he has been playing really well in goals for them today. At an 8.0 and arguably the best player on the park. We've been looking really good, just yet to score. And it is what it is. Will throws in, headed away. Unless throw is Skoo. But in terms of the team like next year, like Diamondov, who's on the bench because he's injured right today, is probably going to be a bench player next year. And that's kind of just showing how good we are. Anyway, Lingard, who's been a bit injured, but the youngster is pretty good at getting a good ball in, and he does. Ash heads over, what's new. And there we are. In terms of this game here and what's going to go, we're going to get Mads in for maybe his last game. Harbrough's going to come in, and I will get, you know what, I'm going to do this, and Anderson, you get up top for a game. You know what, not even. Get into the 4-3-3. I don't care. The 4-2-3-1. Get him in the hole. Get on the ball. We've dominated the game. Maybe we just need to be a little bit more pragmatic and move the ball around a bit slower. Makes no sense, but it might work. Anyway, we'll do that, why not? Time has ticked. A 1-1 draw is not the worst result here. We have absolutely pumped them, the best team in the division on paper. And there we go. That's 21 shots, 13. It's another game we've been FFM'd in. Last 4 games, we could have won 4 games in a row. Could have been another 12 points than where we are right now. It is what it is. Well done, guys. Great performance. If we play like that for every game next season, we should get promoted, because we should have games we do bury chances. But it is just one of the things. We just don't have the quality. And it's shown there. No quality. Dominated the game. We finished 6th, and really shouldn't have finished 6th this year, but we do. And there we are. We are just going to continue on in one take here as well into the season preview, or season end of review, because next year's next year. And yeah. And there we go. Anyway, inbox of 2. We get $8.75. We get no money paid out to us as well, which is unfortunate. And hopefully, we don't have to wait too long here, YouTube. We just get into the end of season review and get done and dusted. It's exactly 5 hours into the stream now too. Nice tick off here. Lads, nice tick off. Hey, look, season's done, and I cannot be proud of the boys. And I know that we've had a couple of episodes, and last episode's angry. Season as a whole is really good, really fantastic. We've got a good amount of depth coming into the club, a lot of young depth. We're building quite a young squad, and I feel like that's the way to go when you're semi-pro. Get a lot of young kids in, because if they develop and you can get money for them, you will, from people in higher divisions. If they leave, you can always put in someone else. And hey, we've finally got one of these screens. Maybe because we're in a division that is befitting. But yeah, as you can see here, Mulberg's been signing of the summer. Frederick Anderson, though, I think deserves a shout out. When he's in form, he's 4-star. When he's not in form, it's 3-star. His form was pretty poor. I do want to play a 4-3-3 and get him in the hole. I just don't know what his best role is. Let me know in the comment section below. Anything really. I think an Engadget does really suit him because he does just sit in the hole and buzz around. And maybe we might try and fit one with an Engadget in him too. Danny also been really good here as well, even though apparently his form's been really woeful. But yeah, I am really happy with that. They were really happy with that, happy with that, and happy with Niles as well. And yeah, the season results, very happy with top half finish. There's no doubt the fine run of results at the end of the season helped us overachieving. The fact that we drew the last 4 games of the season is ridiculous. We dominated Skiv. We should have won Vidborg, understandable. Vigel were 2-0 up, and against Esberg we had 20-something shots of 13 on target, and we didn't win. Kind of sums up how this whole campaign in the playoffs, in this playoff league went. First 2 games of the season should have been 6 points. Another 4, games that we could have won there. All of a sudden, you're talking about promotion. But yeah, look, did we actually? We didn't. That's the mid-season point. We were 4th, and we finished 6th. I'm pretty disappointed. Biggest win was a 5-1 win in the Skybait Pocklien. The match to remember apparently was a 2-1 win against Vissel. I would say a match to remember was when we played against Midtjylland, and apparently the Shoe in the 89th minute scored a great goal in this game here. Yeah, this is a game that meant nothing, and he scored in the end. I think the Shoe scored some better goals. Shoe's now won back-to-back player of the match, goal of the season contenders. Last year, he banged in a lot. This year, it has to be said, the Shoe scored something like 30 goals this season, had no servers, nothing around, and he tried to drag us into the promotion spots. Ridiculous. Yeah, he gets the ball here and he puts it in top bins by memory. Yeah, that's a finish. It's a good run, good touch, good goal. It just kind of sums it up. The finances of this season, we've actually made a lot of money this season as well. 102 jerseys sold. The Shoe was the best, definitely the most. Vil Hermoso come in late doors and he still got pretty up there. How he lined up, did pretty well. And I reckon we're going to be okay next season. It's this guy that we're worrying about. Cotton leaving is not going to be good. The accolades as well. The Shoe won Young Player and Player of the Year. Mulberg won Player of the Signing. The Shoe scored the goal. The Shoe scored 30 goals. The Shoe scored 4 goals in a game. You could kind of get what's going on. The Shoe's kind of done everything that you kind of want to see. Competition awards. The Shoe got Danish Second Division Player of the Year. And it's the Shoe. We get the budget for next season. The board has actually given us a transfer budget of 17k. Hold the phone. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but hold the phone. The board has given us budget. Right. Then we need to agree upon the season. Not a problem. We're going to negotiate the current thing. I want to remove the counter-attacking and direct football. And I will add could I add a thing as well? I don't particularly want to play counter-attacking football, and I don't want to particularly play direct football next season. Come on, boys. Whatever. Build a new stadium. Jeez, that's nice. Alright, well, we're just going to have to do that. So apparently fight bravely, build a new stadium in the 5-year plan as well. Not a problem. That's okay. We've done that. They're really hell-bent on us playing counter-attacking. I feel like we will dominate games, though, next season. Anyway, discuss the plans for next season as well. We'll do that too. We can avoid relegation. Nadal doesn't care. So out of all that, Nadal was like, I don't want to see the youngsters. He knows that people come. He's not a smart player. He's not whatever. He's not a dumb person. But yeah, it is what it is, boys. That's the end of this. They could have been so much better this year. It really could. We've got money to spend. That's a shock in itself. I'm really happy to do this though and give me more money to work towards. There is so much coming in as well, and there's people that we can do whatever with. We need it on a centre back is what we need it on. We need it on a centre back. The fact that we have got money in the budget at the moment though is really good. At the same time, I say this though, we have this amount of 16, 17-year-olds coming in, right? You're telling me there isn't some quality in there? You know, I'm really looking forward to this guy being up front because I think this guy's going to score goals. Like, look at him. He's already 80 rated and is really, really, really developing. And if you go to Veg's full strength side, he was the key prospect. He's not anymore because he's leaving. But I think guys like this coming in are going to provide a little bit different. You know, he's got to play as the poacher and go in as well. And, you know, we've got people coming in like Frank, who are really good. You got people coming in like Yeppy, who's really good. You know, you got people coming in like, where's the other one? Is it Mateus? No. Alex? No. It's not Yeppy Anderson. It's the other midfielder. Jesper Anderson. You know, you got people like this coming in. We are going to have a squad, right? It just depends what we are going to do with them all. We have got so many players, a lot of midfielders, and a lot of good players to find. It's sad to see Con go. We're going to need a midfielder, a centre-back. Yeah, we do, right? But I honestly think there's definitely going to be people here and around. You know, I think these guys here are pretty much done and dusted. I think Liddell, unless he wants to stick around. I think Ash is pretty much done and dusted as well. Obviously, Stein's not going to be here. Pedersen's not going to be here. Other Pedersen's not going to be here. And yeah, it is what it is for me. Like, it is what it is for me. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on next season. You know, there's a lot of lads in this list that really do deserve to be part of the team as well. You know, Danny definitely deserves to be like nailed on in the team. Anderson probably deserves to play. Midfield deserves to play. I don't know what we're going to go with next season. I don't know who's going to play in what spot. But it is what it is. There's people here that really, really want to be here. And yeah, it's going to be a very fun time to see what this team looks like next season. From me and everybody else here, that is going to be the end of the episode. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the end of another successful year here at SFB. Next season, we're definitely going to have a squad big enough to maybe even push for promotion. And hey, if this year was to go by, we'll be there or thereabouts to be in this spot again where we can go into the playoffs or the playoff league and see how it goes. From me and everybody else here, give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.